Are the Solinger tables really important in fishing? And do you know the difference between a major and a minor feeding period? Good morning, guys and girls. April 23rd. April 23rd, a great spring day. It's going to be another great fishing day, and I'm going fishing. I'm going fishing. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Okay, I'll tell you what, most of you might not have even heard of this book in the Bible, Habakkuk. Have you heard of Habakkuk? That's right. That's in the Old Testament. Habakkuk 2:5. Not something that you hear a lot of people talking about, that particular book in the Bible. But if it wasn't important, God wouldn't have put it there. Habakkuk 2:5. Just as wine can trick a person, those who are too proud will not last. Will not last. You know, anytime I read a scripture about pride, I think about a situation that happened to me probably, 40 years ago when I was a young guy, and a guy that I didn't particularly like, as a matter of fact, that I was having some business dealings with. Didn't really want to have those business dealings with him necessarily. And I think he didn't particularly like me either. I'm not going to mention any names. But he told me, he said, "Jimmy, you're just going to be a big flop. You're going to be a big flop because pride goes before the fall." And I thought, well, I'm not proud. I don't have pride. But, you know, there must have been some reason he told me that. And I've remembered that all those years. And every time that I've got to where I thought maybe I was a little bit better than I was, or I got a little haughty, God brought that conversation back into my mind. And I fought it. I fought it. I asked God to help me with it. And it's hard to become a humble person. It's really, really difficult to have humility. You have to work at it. Now, let's see what I wrote about that. When you're fishing for spawning bass, it really helps you to see the fish. Of course, great polarized sunglasses are a must. I should have written great Jimmy Houston polarized sunglasses are a must. By seeing the bass, we know better where to place our lures. We know better where to put the bait by seeing the bass. More importantly, we are able to determine the attitude of that particular fish. This gives us clues as how to try to catch that bass, or maybe not even attempt to catch a particular fish. The really good bedfish fishermen. And we talked quite a bit about spawning bass, you know, this time of the year, because that's what's happening. That's the most important thing in the life of a bass this time of the year, is spawning. So, one of my rules of thumb, you know what it is. If it's important to you, you make it important to the bass. And spawning is the most important thing to the bass. Absolutely the most important thing to the bass. So, we can actually learn whether we want to try to catch that fish or not catch that fish. Pride can affect us. Pride can affect us like, hey, baby. She caught a possum a minute ago, and I thought she was going down there to get it. She likes to take her prize catches home. Pride can affect us like fishing without polarized sunglasses. It makes our vision of life cloudy. It makes us miss the mark in our actions. Pride can blur the really important things in our life. And get this real here. Let this sink in. Pride can turn us into the kind of people that no one wants to be around. Pride can turn us into the kind of people that nobody wants to be around. Rest assured, this is one of Satan's greatest tools in order to destroy us. Pride can destroy us. Pride can destroy you. Pride can destroy me. Ask God today to help you battle this adversary. No matter how humble you are, Satan will use that tool of pride to try to destroy you. The Satan is out there to seek, kill, and destroy. Pride's one of the weapons he uses. Our tip for today, the only difference between a major and a minor feeding period is the length of time. That's right. I've always thought they named that incorrectly. I've always thought that a major was better than a minor because it's major and not minor. It's major and not minor. And, you know, when we go to college, we take majors and we minor in something else. But the only difference in the Solinger tables, and the Solinger tables, is based on a lunar day or a moon day. A moon day is 24 hours and 50 minutes. That's why those tables change about 50 minutes every single day on majors and minors. Very, very important in fishing. But here's the thing that you got to get sunk into your head on that. If you're going to look at those solar tables, and you really should, and you're going to plan your fishing and your hunting around those solar tables, and the way you want to do, you want to be in your very best places, your very best spots. If you're fishing, you want to be there during a major or a minor feeding period, according to the solar tables, the lunar day, 24 hours and 50 minutes. We operate off of a 24-hour day, but 24 hours, 50 minutes. And so you want to be in your best places. You say, well, Jimmy, I want to be in my best place all the time. Well, you really don't, because a lot of times you go to your best place, you don't catch anything. So you go try another place, another place, another place. But watch that solar table. When you hit a major or minor feeding period, and a major period will last about twice as long as a minor, usually an hour and a half or so, where a minor is usually about 30 to 45 minutes. There's no difference in the intensity of those fish feeding. No difference at all. The only difference is a major is a longer period of time. If you're hunting, you want to be out in the woods during the major and minor. That you'll see the woods just sort of come alive if you're out hunting. That's where you can really notice it. You'll see the lake and the water just sort of come alive. As you get closer to a major period, a major feeding period or minor feeding period, you'll start maybe seeing the birds hear the birds get a little bit more active. You'll start seeing little dimples and a little action on top of the water as small bait fish start to feed a little bit more. And as you get further and further into that feeding period, the larger fish start getting more active. And the bass are the king of the jungle. They're the top of the food chain in most lakes. They're going to really get into that feeding period a little bit toward the end of it. So the back part of a major or minor is better than the first part most of the time. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're in your best spots during a major and a feeding time, major and a minor feeding time. And if you're out hunting, if you're out deer hunting, you want to be in your tree stand and not in your lounge chair watching a football game. Hey, guys and girls, April 23rd, go out there and have you a great one today. Go fishing, catch a bunch of fish. Kiss one for me. I love you.